What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy here, Kiani, and if you already know what it is, welcome back to another Sports Smack playoff edition for the NBA. And today we're going to talk about last night's game with the Wizards and Celtics, and what the Celtics are going to be facing in the Cavs, and if they even have a shot of beating the Cavs. And then we're going to talk about tonight's game coming up with the Warriors and the Spurs in Game 2, and we'll get into that action. Without further ado, here we go.
Thomas gets around Gorton all the way. Isaiah Thomas.
First, let's start by saying congratulations to the Celtics for winning Game 7 and moving on to the conference finals, and now going on to face the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's talk about a little bit about last night's game, and that series as a whole was just a phenomenal series. The back and forth between the teams, the suspension to Kelly Oubre, which I don't think was really warranted. I mean, if you're going to suspend Kelly Oubre, you got to suspend Kelly Olynyk. He has a tendency to set dirty screens. His hand tends to come up and elbows to the face. It's just, I think he can be a pretty dirty player at times. I mean, he's definitely had altercations with some other players and stuff like that, and it's just it's becoming a pattern that people don't notice because he's not a big name guy. You notice it more with like Draymond Green. Definitely has some dirty tendencies, which who called Kelly Olynyk out, which you're the last guy that should be saying something like that. But it is what it is. I mean, the Warriors do have the two dirtiest players on their team, in my opinion, was Zaza and Draymond. But you'll hear about Draymond. You hear about Zaza now because he took Kawhi Leonard out, but you don't hear about Kelly Olynyk because he's taking out Oubre. And Oubre is a bench player. He's still working to come into his own. He's struggling, but you know what? He's young. He'll get it together. I have faith in him. He'll become he'll progress as his career goes on. But I mean, anyways, that series though it was a good series to watch. It was fun to watch. I liked watching it. It's by far the best series I've seen all playoffs. And I'm excited to see what the finals are gonna look like, because conference finals for the West and the East. I mean, the best show you're probably gonna see is the Celtics and the Cavs, because I mean, without Kawhi Leonard to get in the Spurs, on the Spurs playing on the court, it's just really a one-sided affair at that point. I mean, it's kind of one-sided with the Celtics and Cleveland as well, but I just feel like Cleveland definitely does have a big edge, but they're definitely closer match than what the Spurs and the Warriors are without Kawhi Leonard. It's going to be those two back in the finals again, duking it out. Definitely bad blood. That'd probably be the best series going to watch all playoffs. But this Wizards and Celtics are definitely going to be number 2 on my list. Great series. I love watching it. Just something that gives you some competition. You're not going to go out and say, oh, I want to watch LeBron the whole playoffs. I mean, he's been putting up great numbers, but he's playing teams like the Pacers and the Raptors. I mean, it just wasn't fun to watch for me. It's just, I don't want to watch 4 sweeps. I want to watch something interesting while I'm at the edge of my seat. I don't just watch something fun. But so I mean, it was a good closeout to a good game, to a good series, a good close, good last game. But anyways, that's what happened. We're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about tonight's game. Kawhi Leonard is doubtful for the Spurs to play against the Warriors tonight, and it's just very unfortunate, because this is what was gonna make the series competitive. Kawhi Leonard was the best player on the court the previous game, and until he went out, and they were up by 23 when he went out. So I strongly believe if he was healthy and he was in that game, he may not have finished it, but once they started getting in trouble and he had to get in the game for a minute, they would have built that lead back up, and there's no way they were going to lose that game. They definitely would have won that one. I don't know about the series, but with Greg Popovich as the coach, and I'd never leave that at doubt at all, because Greg Popovich to me is top 5, top 3, probably the greatest coach of all time. To me, he's definitely in the top 3. There's no way he's not in the top 3. I definitely, he's in my Mount Rushmore. Pat Riley's there, so it's just those are just guys that just phenomenal coaches, and so those are definitely my Mount Rushmore, and so I never doubt either one of those guys. I didn't doubt Pat Riley as my my favorite team's president. I didn't doubt him when we were 11, when the team was 11-30. I'm like, yo, what is this guy doing? Nope. I was just like, well, we're just gonna have to work towards things. There's a lot of injuries, and look what happened. They came back and they were 30-11. Yeah, they missed out in the playoffs, but they went from 11-30, 30-11. And then you have Greg Popovich, who's another great coach. 60 plus wins, like in his 10 years, just never having a losing season, always making it into the playoffs, always getting one of the top seeds and making everything competitive, no matter who you put in front of him. What teams he's got a game plan for. It's just a phenomenal coach, and just I'm not gonna say the Spurs have no chance, but they have a pretty damn slim chance, especially without Kawhi Leonard. That's it for this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. Check out my other videos, and I'll see y'all next time. All right, peace.